In business, they call that the needs improvement zone. When you get evaluated, right, here's what you're doing great, here's what you're not doing great. Please put some attention here and get better at these skills. So business does the same thing. And if we do that, then we may progress in our business and get better and get higher ranking, more money, more satisfaction out of the job we're doing. Life school is a bit hard to explain from the human perspective, but it's the big overarching view. It's the big picture, the big vision of why you're here and what you're doing. So in the business has to have a vision statement. So we have the vision statement, the mission, and the territory that needs improvement. So with the vision, we're looking at something that's timeless. In a lot of business, how you set up a vision mission statement, it's important to go, different people use these words differently, but what I mean when I say vision is this. What's the big picture view? What is the biggest picture view? It has no timelines. It has no to-dos in it. It's just the biggest vision you have of what you're here to do. The mission is one of your attempts to follow through with your vision. The mission is a set of directions, where you're going and what you intend to do. Missions come to an end, and then we start another one. So vision never ends. The vision is big, it's overarching, no timelines.
Where do you start? Do you start with the life or the business?
Say again?
In your soul search, where do you start? In your life or in the business?
I think you can start either place. What happens is, like all paths lead to the top of the mountain. It depends on how conscious you are in the exploration of your business. Business is to meet people. Say again?
Can you repeat your question?
Where do you start?
Your soul search.
With your soul
Life or
search,
business.
with your life or your business. And I think a lot of people find themselves through the work that they do with their business. The challenges and the way that business goes when it's successful or when it's not. Success or failure are just tools that teach us about ourselves. So it's not whether a business is successful or not. It's what we learn through the act of being in that business. And that's a soulful approach to it. In a human approach, I'll continue to say, in a human approach, we're trying to fulfill certain ideas about what is a successful business. How much money does it make? How much market share do you have? How much? And so from a secular perspective, business is about accomplishing goals. But how many people do you know who have accomplished their goals and are not soulfully satisfied? How many people have been extraordinarily successful and are still emotionally, and oftentimes bankrupt because of what they've given up to be successful in business? So in the bankruptcy, if you will, of the soul, of the emotions, we find ourselves sometimes. We ask the deep questions, what am I doing and why am I doing it? So business can lead us to, great successes and/or failures, and both of those things can teach us a bit about ourselves. So you can start anywhere. Did that answer that question? But, my inclination is certainly to start with the life. What's going on at the life level? But you really could start with it.
Because I'm thinking, I'm sorry that I interrupt you. I just try to make it more practical for myself.
Yeah.
So
I don't feel interrupted. That's great.
So I'm thinking that if you start the search with business, because the business gives you the results more than life many times, right? So if you start with the results in mind, in the business, then you can learn about yourself more.
I wouldn't say more. I would say that's a path. It's just a path, and it's effective for people for whom it's effective for. There's people that's the right path to take. Who's next?
Well, I'm just questioning, when did this separation between life and business came about? I don't think it was there when we started out as a human. And is it really necessary to separate that? Is it beneficial to just, life is life?
Did everybody hear that?
Yeah.
I think it's a great question and a great observation. Where did the separation between life and business take place? When did it take place? And where and why and how? And if we were in touch with our souls over time and saw business as a way to serve or to love or to care, if we were trying to bring this carving that's already present in the stone out, if we are artists in our own world and we are paying attention to this energy that's trying to come through us, and then we express it, we wouldn't be separated. But I think the industrial world was part of what caused that, where we got into, yeah, you're working to make money instead of working to express yourself. Not that I'm judging making money is not okay, but it can lead us astray. When what we're doing is making money to provide for ourselves, and it's not satisfying us at the soul, that's where part of that separation takes place.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm the opposite case. I had the epiphany through counseling that the satisfaction and joy I wanted out of life was simply not available in my work. Work did not have it to give to me, so I had to look elsewhere. So he says, it doesn't matter your starting place, you're going to end up at the same destination.
Yeah, you can end up in the same destination. Not necessarily, location, yeah, not necessarily. But I totally agree with you. Business for me wasn't satisfying for a long time until I found my essence and started living into my own essence, and then having my business and my essence combined. And so one does not have to do that in this world. But if you take some thought and concern for that and bring it together, it's possible you can have both, where the business is satisfying at the human level and the soul level. But you have to look at it a little different. It isn't just the fulfillment of goals. It's a lot different than that, yeah. Yeah, Avi?
So the question I have, so what someone would do in a situation where they did that, they found their purpose, and they decided to take that route to be aligned with the soul and the business, but from whatever reason they are not successful in doing that. So that's a route, but the business is not that, they're not making, what they want to make of it. So where is the conflict there?
Well, it's in the definition of success. So the word you used, they were not successful at doing that. So what I would do with a person who's experiencing that is look at what is their definition of success. And being in business in a secular world concept is about being successful at it. Making money, having your house, having your cars, having stuff, taking care of your life and your friends and your medical. And being successful means that you can do X things in the human story. But I don't buy that level of a success. Like I said earlier, I'm not here to be a successful human. We've been told a lot about what it means to be a successful human that I'm not interested in. But if someone is not successful for themselves, they have to look at their definition of success. Because in the experience is what we've come here to do, not have a particular outcome. From a soulful perspective, from a shamanic perspective, it is not the outcome. But in a secular worldview, it is the outcome. So we have to kind of shift gears a little bit when we get to a soulful perspective of what am I doing and why. And that might not be right for everybody, so I'm not preaching that everyone should do that. But the definition of success is going to determine, how a person feels about the results they're getting or not getting.
Well, success means different things for different people, and
Right.
I get that, right? But besides the soul, we have a physical body that has physical needs, and the physical needs is to eat.
Yeah.
Right? So whatever success definition you have, if you cannot provide food to eat, all those definitions doesn't help.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And this is part of how we get manipulated and moved into giving our soulful self away, and this is where the separation happens in this fear that we've been taught and programmed to have around our well-being and what we need to take care of ourselves. There's a lot of things out there in the material world, belief systems that cause us to give ourselves up in order to be, secure, to be, to have the things we're told we need. So I get that. That's all okay. It's part of the human experience, and we're here to do that and balance that with, and not let that need take over what we do here and how we find our soul. Because a lot of people, I think, my experience is, they're doing their business from the secular world perspective. How do I make money and how do I be successful? I'm not making that wrong. That's a certain level of a way to be in the world. There is another way, not the right way. There is another way where we can experience a different relationship to the divine, to the great mystery, to the isness, to the oneness, by opening up and letting that be part of our security and supporting us too. When we trust in that, and all the great religions tell you to trust in God and have faith. It's a similar thing, but this is not a religious perspective. This is trusting the divine, and something different shows up. And you can't know what that is until you trust. You cannot know what it is until you have the experience. Did that just make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
So we can't talk about it and think we understand. You can't use words to understand it. You have to experience it, and that takes a lot of courage sometimes to break free from the things we believe are true. I want to show you something before I answer another question. Do we have any physicists in the room? Anybody that understands Newtonian physics? One of the rules in Newtonian physics is that an object at rest tends to stay at rest. Remember that one? And an object in motion tends to stay in motion. And those are undefiable laws of physics. I have something right here that's going to break those rules. And so this is the mind that I was talking about before. We are a soul, we inhabit a body, we have a mind. Our minds have been programmed for a long time. Good, bad, right, or wrong, I'm not judging. But we have been programmed by our families, by church, by state, by our education, by all kinds of things. And thank goodness for that. And it's also a big problem. If we didn't have a subconscious mind that was being programmed, we would not be able to get, if someone wanted to use their conscious mind right now to get up and go to the bathroom, you probably wouldn't make it. It would take you a week to get there. The conscious mind processes information at 40 bits per second. The subconscious mind processes information at 40 million to 4 billion bits of information per second. That's a huge difference. And so our subconscious mind is running the show for us most of the time. And the beliefs we've been programmed to believe. So here, I want to show you something. If you can't see, come look over here. This is a device that actually defies the laws of physics. If you turn it clockwise, it just spins until friction on the table slows it down, which is what we would predict. It just slows down and eventually it stops. I won't turn it quite as hard as that. So that would be an appropriate response to the laws of physics. It just slows down based on the outside force of gravity, friction and gravity working. Now, if we take that very same thing and turn it counterclockwise, something strange happens. It starts to wobble, and it goes backwards. No outside force is acting on it, and it's spinning backwards. It can't do that. That's against the laws of physics. It's impossible. That is an impossible thing you just saw. And it just happened, and you all saw it. So this is what I'm talking about with our current world mind. It's programmed into thinking and believing certain things are true when they're not. Do you remember when the earth was flat? People wouldn't go sailing because they didn't want to fall off the earth. Did you remember when the sun used to circle? Yeah. You remember when the sun used to circle the earth? People will actually believe that. So right now, what's going on in your current world, in your current set of beliefs, in your mind, that aren't true, that you've been told are true that aren't. So what I'm suggesting is your mind is a tool, not the leader. Most people let the mind be the leader. And I'm suggesting you let go of that and try getting in touch with what your soul wants to do. Listen to your soul a bit more. Listen to your body. Your body is ancient. Our bodies are ancient. How much time do I have?
We're over.
Oh.
3 or 4 more weeks, don't worry.
I'll finish with this. Our bodies are thousands of years old, not just 20, 30, 60. Each body, every one of us, is the end result of thousands and thousands of marriages and combinations of DNA, and we have hundreds of thousands of people beneath us that created us. And their DNA is part of mine, part of yours. Thousands and thousands of bodies and history in the DNA. You also have cellular memory, which are the events. The DNA, let me describe that for a minute. The DNA is simply an instruction set. It's like blueprints. This is Bruce Lipton's work. It's a blueprint. It is not intelligent. The blueprint for the building of this building is not intelligent. It does not know what to do. It takes an outside force to create the blueprint in 3D. DNA is not intelligent. It is not the brain of the body. That was proven a long time ago. They're still trying to sell that. DNA is not the brain of your body. It exists somewhere else. DNA is a blueprint. The cells of our bodies remember everything that's happened to us over the course of our lifetime. And it gets passed on to our next generation and the next generation. So you right now are carrying thousands of years of history of your lineage and your family. Your ancestors are present in you right now. That energy deeply affects your ability to fulfill your soul's purpose for being here. The current world mind influences your ability to fulfill your purpose for being here. We are a gestalt of these 3 things. We are soul, we have a body, and we develop minds. Another alignment that might be nice, most people go mind, or mind, body. Some people go mind, body, soul. Okay, maybe I have a soul, maybe I'll start looking at it. That's good, but I suggest we switch it around and we align things this way. Get in touch with what your soul's doing here. Let your body and your mind help you fulfill that, rather than let the mind tell you how you should be. The mind has been programmed. The soul is eternal. The mind is young and immature. Let's kind of go to the soul level. And that's just an invitation, and it's not necessarily correct. Wait, yeah.
So how do you do that?
Well, we've run out of time. I'll come back. Wait, yeah.
One of the things I want to say, because you're saying, and everybody else is saying it too, that we really are separated from our soul. It's like our mind, business, whatever is here. But one of the things I think everybody has some intuition, and that is getting more in touch with the soul. So that would be a way to be quiet and listen. If you're looking for an answer for something, just be quiet. You don't even have to meditate, but just be quiet, let your mind quiet. And then just notice what what information you're getting, and that's a way to